Alright, we're back after a week and a half, or maybe more than a week. I don't know. In any case, we're gonna go back to Phoenix. Wright. Trials and Tribulations. We're gonna do the trial. The very last trial. Wait, is it the very last trial? I think it is. February 10th, 9:39 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. It all comes together. Good morning! Oh, are you by yourself? Ah, morning, girls. Mr. Nick, please tell me what's going to happen to Miss Ignaya. I'm sorry, we don't know yet. Who's we? I thought I was here by myself. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed in the inner temple. Oh, I see. So this sisters are still trying to remove those trick locks in the training hall? That looks nothing like Cyclox! No, she's a defendant in this case, so she can't be in the inner temple. She's required to be here in court. Then who's going to disarm the locks? Then, how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby? I have to admit, it's kind of strange. If you're looking for her, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Edgeworth! What's Iris doing over there? She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as witness for the prosecution. Wait, what? The prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession, or so I've heard. Francisca von Karma, what are you up to? I know what you're thinking, but Francisca isn't going to be the prosecutor today. It's Godot. What? Then who is? Who else would it be but Godot? Godot? Francisca is engaged in some important work at the Secret Cavern. The Secret Cavern? You don't mean that she's... Exactly. She has been out there all night, trying to remove those trick locks. With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimated the last locks can be taken care of in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly, and we receive some good news soon. Yeah, thanks, Edgeworth. Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. Because he couldn't do it yesterday. But be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. As if it never existed. The edge of tomorrow. Which doesn't exist. You don't have to tell me that. Touché. I can already see it in your eyes. Just as I glare into your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday. Or 6 years ago. It's strange, on the way here I decided that today would be inevitable. Almost immediately after I made the decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Because I've learned that Miss Dioxinum was actually Misty Faye, aka Maya's mother, and that Pearls tried to channel somebody, yet couldn't because it's possible that someone else has done so, and that I think Misty Faye is also the master. What else did I learn? That Morgan Faye is also trying to influence the case. Well, actually, no, it was just long before. And there's another crime scene and blah, blah, blah. Interesting. Maybe you pass your cold onto someone else, literally. And with that, I leave the rest in your capable hands, partner, while I look so smugly in the corner. Thanks! Thanks! And I still don't have answers to the riddles, most of the riddles plaguing the case. Like what? Like who killed Misty Faye? The circumstances around the murder of Miss Alix Dioxinum? No, I mean Miss Misty Faye. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. And what that woman is really after. Morgan Faye wants Pearls to be the next master because it's part of this whole idea of the evil hand wants to be the main family. We'll solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. February 10th. The same day as my birthday! 10 a.m. District Court, number 7. There. Court is now in session for the trial of Iris of Hazukuta Temple. As if to say that's like a house? Okay, fine. Your Honor, what are you? Who? Me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers earlier this morning, and all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him. Oh. So, we get the normal judge back. I see, Your Honor. So the brothers, that explains a lot. Then why does his brother have a different accent? My poor brother, he looked a little bit pale, not to mention sad that he couldn't be here. It is impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. I hold a cup of coffee and act all philosophical. This is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And why we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment. Impartial? No. Well said, Mr. Godot. I understood exactly what you said, at least up until the end anyways. In others, you didn't understand anything. Now then, Mr. Godot, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. So what? There's only one thing that remains a constant in the crazy world. Constant? The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug. What? So then you mean, forget it. What do you mean? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today she has a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazakota Temple has a confession to make. Confession? The defendant? Why? Iris. Why didn't she discuss this with me first? Very well. The court will now hear the defendant's confession. I kind of remember what that Irish cop was talking to Cole Phelps from L.A. Noire. The things that are required for a successful conviction. Opportunity, motive, hard evidence, and a confession. So, this kind of seals the whole entire thing. Why do you confess? Upon meeting a beautiful lady, I always ask for her name and profession. Was that always the case in the previous cases? I don't know. That's one of my rules. Oh, that's one of your rules. Okay, I guess that doesn't count for the other cases. My name is Iris. I am but a simple nun, undergoing training at a Hazakota Temple. Witness, is there something you want to confess to? Yes. But first, I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright? I can't continue lying to everyone anymore. It's alright, what is it? Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident. Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Mr. Elise Diaxidum? No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I did deal with the cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakota Temple courtyard where I desecrated it. What? Why? Order the court order. Witness, are you saying you were an accomplice to the murder? Yes, that's correct. Oh. 3 minutes in court and I'm already covered in cold sweats. Things just go to hell in a handbag. Ha! Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. It just happens to be in the case in this case it's murder. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Grr, that Godot! So this is a confession they were conferring about. It pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris' testimony was all a lie. Iris' testimony crumpled up and shoved into a pocket. Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I've got a question for you. Whose crime are you trying to cover up by your actions? Iris is covering for someone. Now I'm definitely up a creek without a paddle. Or a life jacket! And then it Hazakota Temple. Ever since I was a little girl, Hazakota Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Korean tradition. What? One of our missions is to protect the main family. I'm sorry, but main family? Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself if need to be to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Korean channeling technique, Mystic Maya Fey. What? What? Wake up and smell the coffee trait. She's naming Maya? Okay. Why would... Okay, she's basically fingering Maya in this case. This is the third or fourth time that Maya's been implicated in the murder. So you not only that you witnessed the murder, you know the name of the murder. I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. Okay. I have at least 2 questions. Number 1, why would Maya ever do it? Number 2, why would you go along with it? And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her. That's what you got. The defendant will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime? Yes, Your Honor. I thought I was prepared for the unexpected. You can't really be prepared because something will catch you off guard no matter what. And all you can do is recover and find something to come back to. But I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction. The real murderer. I went to the inner temple that night and I saw all that happened in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. Wait, what? I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. What? It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it. For the weapon. So, how does Iris know that the staff was a weapon? Yeah, the staff could be used as a weapon, but does she know of it? Nobody knows this except me and Detective Gunshoe. How does she know that it was a weapon? Yes, Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya. Remove the victim's body to the temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You've got the instincts of a true criminal. Something's not quite right. I'm sure it was established yesterday. And that Iris never went to the inner temple that night. And that the person who did go was that woman. Iris even admitted it. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with the cross-examination. I think it's best if I press a few things before I present anything. I went to the inner temple and I saw all that happened in the garden. Hold it! Sister Iris, your testimony has changed quite a bit since yesterday. You said yesterday that on the night of murder, you didn't go to the inner temple. Did she now? Too bad for you. What she said yesterday doesn't mean much today. By the way, where were you when she claimed that she didn't go? I was at the inner temple training hall. A private conversation between the two of you does not constitute testimony. That would be properly described as hearsay. What do you have to say, witness? I just couldn't tell him the truth at the time. Mystic Maya, she's your girlfriend, isn't she? What? I didn't want to be the one to break it to you that I saw her commit murder. There, we all understand how difficult this is for you. Okay, I was about to bring up another thing, like... Why would Iris think that Maya and Phoenix are girlfriends? Why would that be a topic? Now then, let's continue with the testimony. What did you witness in the temple garden? Well, Your Honor, I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. Hold it! You're saying that the victim attacked Maya. I mean, Miss Faye. Yes, it was a truly frightening scene. Mystic Maya was struck hard on the head and looked like she was going to collapse. What were you doing at the time? Why didn't you stop them from fighting? This seems familiar. Like the first case, in which Mia Fey asked Dahlia Hawthorne, what did you do at the time? Why didn't you stop them fighting? It kinda is almost like a reminiscence of the first case. I am terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I was frightened. I couldn't move. It's almost as if Iris is Dahlia Hawthorne on the stand. I couldn't even speak. I was in such a shock. Much like the shock from the first case. Perfectly understandable, my dear. This doesn't sound right. I don't believe this testimony for a minute. What happened after that? While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Hold it! And what is a fatal strike? She moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Like, how did she do that? Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon. Wait a minute. What was this weapon? It was some kind of a dagger. A dagger? Huh. And at least TX and him tried to stab her with this weapon. To kill Miss Faye? Yes, exactly. Ha! It's the first we ever hear. It looked like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of a Worcestershire sauce. What? Worcestershire? You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. You swigged up that stuff. You're like, oh! Ah! Shit, what is that shit? Engine oil? Do you have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? Do I have a problem with it? Yes? I don't know where this is going. Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony. You do? But this witness is your own client. Yes, well, nevertheless, that's fine. Witness, let's add your last testimony to the last statement to the testimony. Yes, sir. Hey, just wait a minute. It's my job to say that. Listen, Gramps, I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Okay, now let's continue. She threw her staff away and pulled a dagger from inside her robe. What the hell? Okay, hold it! She threw her staff away. Why? Mr. Khalees was trying to kill Mr. Maya. I don't think that's what she wanted. A more lethal weapon. It's true, it's not easy to inflict a deadly blow with the staff. Unless the staff was able to get something. Sister Iris, let me make sure I've got this straight. The victim herself chose to throw away her staff. Yes, that's what I saw. Is there anything odd about that, Mr. Wright? Yeah, it's odd, alright. Mr. Khalees attacked Mr. Meyer with the dagger. I'm sure of this. She threw away the staff. A staff that had a hidden sword in it. Tried desperately to disarm herself and stole the weapon. Hold it! Which weapon? And then, Mr. Maya, she turned things around, and then she used the weapon she had taken and lunged forward with a strike. Which weapon was this? Was it the staff or the dagger? Are you absolutely certain? Yes, but believe me, she had no choice. If Mr. Maya hadn't done something, my Faye's name would have been written on this autopsy report instead. Yes, I see. This is bad. I still can't put the pieces together. Unless I found a contradiction in her testimony, Maya's going to get blamed for this. I only have this to say. It was in self-defense. You can't blame her for it. I'm not blaming her for anything, but... Hold it! So you're saying Maya Faye was the one who stabbed Miss Elise DX. Sister Iris, is that really what you saw? Yes. Why are you... Just, trite. If your mug is filled with black and bitter suspicions, the only way to get rid of them is to drink them down quick. Like this. I know that's supposed to be a metaphor, but I don't get it. There's only one thing you need to get, Trite. It's called evidence. Now hurry up before my next cup gets cold. What does that mean? It's gotta wait for me to point out the contradictions? I'd like to avoid the whole spirit channeling thing if I can. Not only would it be inadmissible as evidence, but I think it might actually hurt our standing with the judge. First, I need to pick her testimony apart and expose the unnatural sounding parts. I don't know why Iris would tell a story like this, but there are two things I noticed that just won't add up. Okay. Let's stop and think about this for a second. We've already gone through every single one of them. Now we gotta find... Still something, yeah. Was something Mr. Klein when... Look, Mystic Maya was still stumbling. Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Okay. Which is it? I'm having Oh, this is a head scratcher. This is a pickle. This is a freaking puzzling... Oh, God. I'm thinking. I'm trying to think. Okay, let's stop for a second. Let's look at one. I saw with her staff. While Mystic Melissa moved in to deliver strike, she threw her staff away and pulled a dagger from inside a robe. Why did she do that? Was there a dagger? What if I present the staff that nobody else knew? There's a sword hidden inside, no one else except me and Detective Gunshoe. So, was there a dagger found hidden on Dioxinum? I don't know, that wasn't discussed. What if I present this anyway? So, objection! Oh, I actually did it. There's something strange about your version of events. That... Okay, the reason why I presented that, I wasn't half sure, but I knew this piece of evidence was going to be needed. The reason why is because, according to Iris, Miss Dioxinum, Misty Faye, threw the staff away to get a more lethal weapon. But there was no reason, because the staff was a sword. It was already a lethal weapon. So why go for a dagger? Huh? Miss Dioxinum throwing her staff away makes no sense at all to me. But all you can do with a staff is to hit someone. Naturally, you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword. Ha! If Elise Dioxinum really had wanted to kill Maya Fey, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Now when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already! Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say? That was an impressive bit of investigating, right? I never would have thought there was a sword hidden in that staff. But even so, how should I put this? There's a sword in your staff. A long sword is unwieldy and thus quite ineffective in close quarters combat. What? Maybe that's why she chose a dagger over blade. No. Well. Anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what's important. The important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. Yeah, but it would be a waste of time to throw the staff away. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with this testimony. Yeah, but where did the discussion of the dagger come from? There's no dagger on... But there's something strange about this whole testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, the prosecution has a point. Why did Iris mention a dagger? Why was that brought up? If there's no reason to throw away the staff. Very well, Your Honor, the defense will now present evidence to back up its argument. Mr. Wright, I have another piece of evidence that shows that the testimony can't be trusted. Because this would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey. Miss Elise Dioxinum would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey. Because... Elise Dioxinum is Maya's mother. So... Here! Elise Dioxinum would never have attacked Maya Fey. Oh, how can you be so sure? Because Misty Fey is Maya Fey's mother? Because the real victim's real name is not Elise Dioxinum. Her real name was Misty Fey. Fey? Ah! No! Not Misty Fey. Who is Misty Fey? Is she related to? Not Mystic Misty Fey. Why would Iris again? Misty Fey is a master of her crying channeling technique. She was also the mother of Maya Fey. Are you serious? Is this really true, Mr. Wright? Was Elise Dioxinum actually the great Misty? How would you know? Why would you be surprised? There's no doubt about it. It looks like Iris had no idea. I can hardly believe it. The idea that she would try to kill her only daughter, one she hadn't seen in 17 years? Perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation as for why she would do such a thing. Darn! Because it's too personal. Order in the court. Upon first hearing the witness's testimony, it seems natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented, one, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during a fight, and two, that the two people battling to the death were mother and daughter. Despite the facts being believable when taken on their own, when taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe. Listen, there's nothing in this world that is impossible. Except for one little thing. Yes? What is that one little impossible little thing? Ha! You still don't get it! You think that my beans are under-roasted, but you have no idea, Gramps. What? What? Can you get to your point? I heard the witness's confession this morning. Hold on a second, I'm just checking one thing. Just as I had taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee. Dear God, how many cups can you go through? You're going to ruin your health, my friend. You're going to ruin it. Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who loves to investigate sent to the scene of the crime. And he discovered this little beauty. So, there was a dagger. Why wasn't it brought up? Is that the dagger the witness testified to seeing? Obviously, Your Honor, but do you not notice something else? There's blood on it. Now that you mention it, if you look closely, there appears to be blood on it. Where did you find that? I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? What? Huh? The pine tree? The dagger was stuck in the backside of the pine tree. What? When the last blow struck, ending the violent battle between the two women, this little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree. Which means the blood on this dagger belongs to the victim, correct? Ha! Were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of morning coffee. What? You're gonna die of caffeine overdose. Didn't you say it was your 8th just a few minutes ago? How many have you gone through? A few minutes ago. Like what? 5 minutes? 8 cups in 5 minutes? Is that a cup every a minute and a half? Dear God. You're trying to go for the Philip Fry record of coffee drinking, aren't you? I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed on such short notice. Indicates the court will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I order that the blood test be performed on it immediately. This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right. Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately. Found behind a tree in the inner temple garden. That blood is being analyzed now. Now then, the testimony we've heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible. Maybe. Cute girls never lie, ever. I'm sorry, but no. In any case, witness, if you please testify again in this court, I'm pretty sure I've already seen frickin' Dahlia Hawthorne lie her frickin' face off. About what, Your Honor? About the incident you saw, the battle between the two women. Yes, Your Honor. Because women hate each other. Actually, no, that's sexist. That's hypocritical because I see myself as trans. At least cisgender women. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with a staff. But then she dogged Mystic Elite's next attack and stole her weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elite was the one on the defensive, with her back to the stone lantern. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed. Time 10:11 p.m. caused loss of blood from stab in back! But the victim was laying against the stone. So how can she be stabbed from the back? Very heartbreaking story. It's also a logic-breaking story. I don't know if there were any bad feelings between them, but it had been 17 years since Misty's disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore. That seemed reasonable. You just heard a story about how it's not, and you're just going to be like, oh, well, that's perfectly plausible. Proceed with your cross-examination. I know exactly where to hit, but I like to press them all first. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with a staff. Hold it! Iris, where were you standing when you witnessed all this? What do you mean? Well, if either of them had noticed you, they might not have continued the battle. I wonder if that's true. The two of them, they were just standing near the garden of the Stone Lantern. I was watching the whole thing from behind. It was dark where the two of them were, so I think that's why they didn't see me. So it was dark in the garden when the murder took place. Tell me, what did Miss Maya Fey do after she was struck? But then she dodged Mystic Elite's next attack and stole her weapon. Hold it! Is it the dagger or the sword staff? What happened to the victim's staff then? I'm not sure. The area was so very dark I really couldn't see. I think I got knocked away somewhere as the fight escalated. That makes sense. That would explain the need for the dagger. Mystic Elite raised the dagger to strike, but Mystic Maya dodged at the last second. The dagger struck the lantern and fell to the ground. And then at some point Mystic Maya picked it up. Nothing sounds especially strange yet. What did the victim do when the weapon was stolen from her? Suddenly, Mystic Elite was on the defensive with her back to the stone lantern. Hold it! You're saying that Maya Fey turned the tables on the victim? Yes. But Mystic Maya wasn't herself at the time. After all, her life was in danger. I still can't believe it. The idea of Maya cornering someone at knife point is just silly. I don't think Maya has ever had a killer's instinct. As I say, a cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal. I don't know if that's a Japanese saying, but I think someone may have screwed it up in English. Oh well, whatever. Why not? I believe the correct description of a cornered fox is scared and petrified. Your animal analogies have grown tiresome. So have yours! You brought it up first. You were the one who started it! Anyway, so after Maya Fey backed the victim into the stone lantern, what happened next? That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elite. Should I object right here? Hold it! Are you absolutely certain that's what you saw? Yes, I'm almost certain. Almost. The garden was dark. I couldn't really tell who was who. What did she just say? So in other words, it could have been someone else entirely. We know that Maya Fey was in the Inner Temple that night, and that the woman that was killed was Elise Exum. Isn't that fairly obvious who attacked who? I don't have anything to counter that yet. Well then, witness, please continue with your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. The two of them faced each other for a moment. Mystic Maya rushed straight into Mystic Elise. Mystic Maya doubled over and fell to the ground. So she was stabbed in the stomach, huh? Yes. So fling the knife away. So this part of the testimony confirms. Then she stabbed in the stomach. But the autopsy report says stabbed in the back. So objection! Something about you just isn't right today, Iris. Huh? Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions. What do you mean? What's so wrong about my testimony? According to you, Maya Fey stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct? Yes, that's right. But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right? Yes, I think so. But according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back. Ah! This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Mr. Iris, it appears another seed of doubt is sprouted from your testimony. Ah! What? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? Ha! It's simple. People like books. We've all got a front and back. You get my drift? And a spine. Which they got stabbed. Is that all you have to say? I can say that darkness loves to play with the human mind. You still need to come up with the so what factor. Can you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already? The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away useless staff, the people fighting being mother and daughter, and now she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach. There certainly are some inconsistencies. Well, Iris, how about it? Well, it's just... If you ask me, you're just about as too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee. So what? But to pick out each one requires total concentration and use of all the senses. Were you really concentrating on what this witness actually said? Prosecutor Godot, explain yourself. The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. A human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light. Light. By the way, did you know? Hazakura has a rule that on the nights when the acolyte is in the inner temple training, the stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit. I didn't wonder what that stone lantern was there for. Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly? Normally, yes, Your Honor. But according to the head nun in Sister Bikini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern. Impossible. It had been used in a long time and the wick was no good. In other words, it had been nearly pitch black in the garden that night. There could have been a faint light coming from the training hall, but that's all. Most enlightening. Yes, the illuminating fact has chased away all the contradictions away. If the staff was dropped, it would be difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. We can see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Isn't that right, Wright? No! Okay, it was too dark, so therefore that's Godot's defense. Order! Here, Your Honor, let me present the stone lantern in evidence. Maybe it'll rekindle the flame of truth in your mind. The lantern from the innermost temple garden was not lit the night of the crime. Why is the judge just sitting there with that look on his face? And... why is Godot not saying anything about the name on the lantern? What's wrong, Your Honor? Was the flame too hot? This lantern, there's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood! Oh boy! Oh shit! So the judge didn't know about that yet. Written in blood? It says Maya, upside down. What the? Oh yes, that's right. And why is Godot surprised? Oh, that's right. After being cornered by and stabbed by my Faye, at least didn't fall down right away. She must have been writing on the stone lantern behind her, with the blood that was draining out of her body. Certainly looks that way. Hang on just a minute. Why are you... if this is something that should be good for you, why didn't you just work with it? What are you all talking about? What do you mean, what are we all talking about? We're talking about the message written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern is as clean as a whistle. That's the second time you said something was clean as a whistle, but no, that wasn't the case. Could it be? He can't see the bloody writing at all? Now that I think about it, he did say something to me yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. So that's what he meant by that. In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godot, anything further? Mr. Godot? Okay then, let's move on. Godot is literally shaking, and somehow I don't think it's from caffeine overdose. I would think it's caffeine overdose, but I'll go with this. I believe it has now been established. MSDXN was killed by Maya Fey. That's just wrong. Now it's time to turn our attention to you. Yes, sir. After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears. That's, no. We're all coffee mugs, and power suits, and colorful anime coloring. Sister Iris's cover-up. Why is Godot shaking? After Mystic Elise died, I called to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of crying tradition. So I removed the body from the inner temple myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazukuta Temple, and... I used a Shito to alter the way the wound looked. So you moved the body. Yes. I was raised at Hazukuta Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fae clan. I thought it was, but even so, I never mentioned that the Exodum was actually Misty Fae. I've committed a terrible sin. A terrible trick of fate. I believe you're looking for a twist of fate, Your Honor. I intended to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body. But you were spotted by the head nun, correct? Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back. Your story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, I don't know. I called out to Miss Maya. Hold it! Why? You were hiding. Why would you reveal yourself? So you waited until everything was over before making a move. No, it's not like that. She saw someone murdered right in front of her eyes. It's not surprising that she was a little timid. Yes, I suppose that's true. Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so helpless that I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion. Isn't that your job as a judge to mediate the argument? It wasn't until Mystic Maya saw me that it finally dawned on her what she finally done. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the crying tradition. Hold it! Who said it was your duty? So then you knew. You knew the significance of the name Maya Fey. Yes, of course it did. That's odd. I mean, Sister Bikini didn't recognize Maya's name, let alone her position. Anyway, she was a very special person indeed. How did you know when the Bikini didn't know? So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. Hold it! Why did you do that? Because I didn't want Mystic Maya to be suspected in any way. I thought the best thing would be to remove the body from the crime scene. You moved your body all by yourself. Yes, I did. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for the snow. The snow, huh? I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Hold it! It's pretty amazing you could make it all the way across that rickety old bridge. It looks worse than it is, friendly sturdy despite its age. It's like they say, idiots are too stupid to catch even a simple cold. I think you're talking about Larry. But there's other thing that still bothers me. Why not just throw the body in the Eagle River? It would be much easier than dragging it all the way to Hazukuta Temple. I thought it would still cast too much suspicion on Maya. That's why I tried to make the body as far away as possible. Ha! Makes perfect sense to me, for the time being. Anyway, what did you do after you crossed the bridge? And then I used the snowmobile to carry back to Hazukuta Temple. And hold it! The snowmobile I knew would show up sooner or later. Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hazukuta Temple to Dusky Bridge. This is the part that was in question the other day. Should I ask for more details? Just go with something about the snowmobile. Let me hear more about the snowmobile ride. Well, it was very cold that night, so I rode it all the way to the foot of the bridge. I'm sorry, witness, but now I've got a problem with your testimony. Excuse me? Godot. What are you up to now? That night, after the head nun left the remainder of the training to you, she said she walked back from the inner temple back to Hazukuta Temple. Yes, I'm fairly certain that's what the record indicates. Let's recall our comments on the subject. Maybe when I made it back to the Hazukuta Temple, it was there by the main gate, the snowmobile, I mean. The snowmobile was in the front of the main gate. This is one of the contradictions. When you say? Order! Mr. Godot, why are you pointing out contradictions in the witness's testimony? Let's just say I like things to be neat and tidy, okay? Well, maybe. Sister Bikini missed it. Yes, maybe she didn't see it. You think she missed it? That doesn't sound right. Ha! Whatever. Even I don't think this is decisive enough to warrant any more time and effort. It's just, you better be careful on your testimony, that's all I want to say. A smart little cookie like you shouldn't have any trouble understanding that. Yes, sir. What was that all about? Why would Godot want to give me a hint? Very well then, let's continue the testimony. So you transported this body by the snowmobile. All the way to Hazakota Temple courtyard. Yes, I thought that way Mr. Maya would never be suspected. That's what I thought anyways, and then I used this Chichitsu to alternate the wound. Hold it! Is that what you're saying? What were you doing when Sister Bikini saw you? Yes, that's right. She probably thought the worst. Probably. More like definitely. I see. So Sister Bikini mistakenly thought you were the one that murdered Mr. Diaxonum. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. My fault that this case has gotten so confusing. I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Iris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. But why would she want to do that? There's only one reason I can think of. That she was behind it. And Mr. Nicholas died, I called to Miss Maya. Okay, contradiction time! Time to spot the difference. I thought it was my duty to protect. There's no way I could disprove or disprove. So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. Okay, I dragged it all the way... Dragged it behind me all the way across Dusty Bridge, then I used a snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakota, and then I used a Shishitsu. Okay! Somewhere from here to here is a contradiction. But where is the contradiction? So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. Was she directed to do so? No, it sounds like she did it on her own. So I'm gonna scratch that. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Okay. Let's stop and think about this for a second. Let's look at the autopsy report one more time. The time of death was 8 to 11 p.m. So what? What else happened at that time? 10 to 11. Lightning 10 to approximately 11. Lightning struck Dusty Bridge at 10:45. Between the stars starting and going out. Occasional lightning strikes. So, lightning struck the Dusky Bridge. I then used a snowmobile to carry Hazakota Temple, and use a snowmobile. The tracks photo. Okay, there's something off about that. There's another pair of tracks. There's one set of tracks. But what? Use a Shichizo. Okay. Use a Shichizo to alter the way the wound look. That's an obvious given, so I'm gonna scratch this one out. So it's these two testimonies. I'm just narrowing it down. Dragged it, and then I used a snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakota. Dragged it all the way behind me across Dusky Bridge. What happened during Dusty Bridge? The victim was killed between 10 to 11. Between 10 and 11, there's also a lightning strike. At one point, the bridge was on fire. So, is it possible for her to drag it all the way behind her? No. Why? Horrible sketch of what you saw on the night of the crime, because the bridge was on fire at that time. So what if I present this? Ah, frig, I shit it. Ah, I shit it. I shit it. I shouldn't have shit it. Okay. So the picture is not good enough. I dragged it all the way behind me across the Dusty Bridge. All the way across Dusty Bridge. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusty Bridge. I'm having... Okay. Snowmobile to carry it back to Hazukoto Temple. I'm thinking. I dragged it behind me all the way across the Dusty Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazukoto Temple. It, as in the body. Which part of this is... Here. The victim's been out of the river open, has a sword hidden, no one knows. Taken from... Found it on covering his blood coat. Okay. I'm kind of stuck. All the way... I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Is it possible for her to drag it? Okay, what about the weather report? During the exact same time... Oh, shit! Dang it! So I can't use the weather report, I can't use the drawing. Okay, I gotta think. Think. Okay. Think. Dragged it all the way. So remove the body from the inner temple myself. Wait. The future master. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the crime. Okay, okay, I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the crying tradition. There's gotta be something! But what? I know I'm not getting something. Found on a carpet near Dusky Bridge. Has blood on it. Came from the victim's staff. Remove the body from the inner temple for myself. I dragged it behind me all the way. Remove the body from the inner temple by myself. Did she have help? I don't know. Where is it? Where's the contradiction? Normally I would have finished this by now, but this is... Okay. Remove the body from the temple by myself. Is it possible she did by herself? Or is there something she's not telling us? She wanted to pin it on Maya. But why? Because she's Dahlia Hawthorne. Possible. Dragged her behind me all the way across the dusky bridge. I'm gonna use the snowmobile to carry her back. Okay, let's call Mystic Lisa. I called up to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty. Okay, was there something else I wasn't getting? Snowmobile. Hey! How about the tracks? The tracks, if you really did move her body by snowmobile, there should be tracks left in the snow, right? Oh yes, naturally you wouldn't expect tracks. This picture representing yesterday's trial. Are these tracks from the ride? Yes, I think they are. But I can only see one set of tracks here. I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was falling when I left Hozukoto Temple. See, snow is still falling. Okay. This might be a clue. Snow is still falling. Snow is approximately till 10:50. And then the murder took place. And when the murder took place, it had already stopped. So in other words, it took place at 10:50. That's why there are such fresh-looking tracks. How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony? It's very important! When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Making it... The snow had stopped, according to the weather report, at 10:50. Narrowing the autopsy report to 10:50 p.m. That doesn't make sense if we stack it up against the other evidence. Your Honor, I'd like the statement errors just made added to the statement. But does it have something to do with the case? All will be made clear if you follow our statement to be added to the record. Ha! This should be fine. Okay, I knew that I was overlooking something. Let's get the snow business cleared up, shall we? Yes, sir. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Hold it! There have been a lot of contradictions in your testimony so far. This time, are you sure it's all true? Yes, I am. When the murder happened, the snow had already stopped. According to you, that's why the snowmobile tracks are so clear. That's right, I'm certain of it. I think I've trapped her this time. I see. How you think snow, huh? Oh, wait. I kinda... Oh, I know where this is going. Actually, I do know, and I'll prove it. When the murder took place, snow has already stopped. How do I know? Because this was found near the outcropping, and it was half covered in snow. What is going on here? If the snow had really stopped by the time of the murder, it'd mean there's a bigger hole in the story than that movie, The Grid Revelations. Ha! Well then, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to share your theory with us. Let's see you at your sleep, or rather at the end of your sphere. I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Iris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. I don't want to do that. There's nothing... Right? I can think of... By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. I think this has something to do, so... Object! Why? Why didn't it work? Why is it not working? Oh, okay. It didn't work. Why? Because I could have used the orb for... the orb... The murder took place, the orb was on the ground, it was half covered by snow, and it proved that snow didn't stop when the murder took place. By the time the murder took place, the snow... Okay, I need to think way outside the box for this one. Not the orb. Not this. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. The snow had already stopped. Okay. Now... What? The accident was murdered. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Is there something that proves that by the time the murder took place, the snow didn't stop? Okay. Hold on, it can't be this. Stopped. How would she know about the snow? By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. I don't want to have to go through the walkthrough. I do not want to have to go through the walkthrough. Please. Loss of blood. Time between... Okay. So... what if I present the autopsy report? Time... there are two pieces of evidence I have left. The autopsy report and the weather report. One of them. It's on the murder took place, the snow already stopped. The murder took place. Between this and this. What if I submit the weather report first? Then what? But I think it'll... Okay, but... I'm sick! No! Try to think before you make accusations. I can't think! Bigger hole in the story. The snow! Mean that there's a bigger hole in the story than the revelations. Ha! Try, perhaps you'd like to share a theory with us. Let's see what's after your sleep, or rather, the end of your destiny. I don't want to believe it, but I think my logic is failing me. There's only one reason I can think of. Back. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. How would you know? Okay. I'm really stuck. Where is it? The answer is not simple. It's because I'm not thinking. What time did the murder take place? Between 10 to 11. What time did the snow stop? Around 10:50. Making that time at 10:50. Was there something about 10:50 that was odd? If I don't get an idea of what to do in the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna use a walkthrough. That's gonna be hugely embarrassing. Okay, lots of blood from the back. time of the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Use it to alter away, and then use the snowmobile to carry back, dragged behind the body. That was my duty to protect the future master of Korean tradition. Okay. These, I feel like the other ones, my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition. After I called out, who is the future master? It's my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition. So that... But she was surprised that Missy Faye was the master. Garden Temple. What about this? I'm sick! Nope! I frigged up. I can't stop frigging. Alright. A few more minutes. Like 1 hour and 10. Thought it was my duty to remove the body from the inner temple by myself. Is it possible that she had help? Because I'm having a hard time coming to drag it behind me all the way across this bridge. Okay. Let's stop and think. We have this part. Let's think one more time. Just think one more time really hard. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Is that true? Some part of me wants to say no, but I really want to explain why. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. What time did the snow stop? 10:50. Did the snow... But the body... What time was the body found? 11. Oops. I don't believe it. So remove the body from the temple by myself. Dragged all the way behind me across Dusky Bridge. The regional weather report for the night of the crime. Lightning struck Dusky Bridge at 11:45. I dragged it across the... Struck... Just... Okay. Let's stop and think about this for a second. What time did the murder take place? 10:50. But lightning struck the bridge at 10:45. And it was on fire! So... What's that? Yes! I found it! I knew there was something off! But I was stuck! I knew there was something off about that! You claimed the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. But you didn't take into account that lightning struck the bridge, which would have made it on fire! I'm sorry, Maris, that just isn't possible. What? This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:15. But you couldn't have crossed the Dusky Bridge at that time. Why did you say that? Because it was on fire. Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and caught on fire. What did you just say? The bridge, it was on fire? And you didn't even know. Finally! You don't mean to say you didn't know about it. It was because of the lightning struck that the bridge burned down. What? But it can't be. It can't be. It looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of the real defense attorney. No! Finally! I did it! Order, order, order! And I didn't need a walkthrough. I had to use my noggin. The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right, the inner temple was already cut off from the outside world. There's no way you could have crossed the bridge. Body or no body. Witness? Even my patience has its limits. Any further lying, I'll find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself? The only person here that is truly contemptible is you. Who? You who? Old man? Me? How dare you? Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now. That's a perjury charge right there. So that kind of means something. Squat. The important thing is now is to find out the truth, isn't that right? Yes, of course, but whether or not it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elise Diakono was discovered in the Hazakota Temple courtyard. And second, the head non-stitched bikini. Witness Iris desecrating Elise Diakono's body. He makes a good point on both accounts. It still happened. That's right, I'm not lying. What are you claiming this time? I wasn't myself at all that night, so my memory is still somewhat hazy. You literally weren't yourself. You were someone else. You had stood at the witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of the night is hazy? It is only human error. If you're so perfect straight, maybe you can explain this for the court. What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burnt down. But somehow the body traveled across the bridge and was found at the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick. Well, not exactly, no. I know there must be some other way she got across that burnt-out bridge. But unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth! Looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. You see what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that the lady's testimony isn't the truth. Alright then, let's hear your testimony once more. About what, Your Honor? You admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. Will this be your final testimony? Moving the body. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no other way to move the body. So I must have gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling, or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there is a way to cross the burning bridge? So it was just a misunderstanding, I see. This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it was burned down in the lightning blast. It was taken on the morning after the incident. It certainly was burned to a crisp, and one of the suspension wires even snapped. It's amazing, the whole bridge didn't fall. Clearly it would be impossible to carry a corpse across the bridge in this condition. Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth. And Maya will be accused of murder. That's right, I'm only gonna say this one more time. And I'm gonna say this one more time! Ugh. It's only human error. And only humans can spot the errors of our ways. The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes. Like a wet towel. What gets wetter as it dries. Alright, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination. Who says it was his final testimony? Okay, moving the body. Cross-examination. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. Hold it! Yes, but if the snow had already stopped when the incident took place, I couldn't have crossed the bridge, naturally. But I think it's just like Mr. Godot said. The body did make it across somehow. So I must have gotten confused, I guess. Hold it! What's that supposed to mean? But you seem to be quite sure of yourself when you gave your testimony. You said you were sure the snow had already stopped. I'm terribly sorry, I was wrong. Does she really think an apology is going to get her off the hook? Was the snow still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Hold it! Why did you bring it up if it didn't matter? There's no joke, you're giving a sworn testimony in the court of law. Well, Mr. Wright, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what the weather was like 1 week ago today? No, but it could have been on record. Huh? Well, naturally it was, You see? It's not that easy to remember, is it? But if it... kind of a special day I would have remembered. For example, it was pouring rain down on the day of my elementary school graduation. No one wants to hear about your childhood traumas, trite. What? By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. If you insist on obsessing over what seemingly to see the proof. Show us evidence that the body somehow crossed the bridge while it was on fire. Are you saying there is a way to cross a burning bridge? Hold it! Maybe. Well, I don't see why there could be a way across. Mr. Wright, don't you think it sounds a bit silly? A dead body crossing a burning bridge? Did anyone actually witness such a thing? Now that I think about it. Ha! If there was, I don't think you'd call someone like that a witness. After all, a dream isn't the same as actually seeing something. Come all this way so I owe it to figure everyone out. But how do you transport a body across a burning bridge? Even I don't know the exact answer yet. It's okay. I'll start by examining all my evidence to see where it takes me. I've gotta be like a shark. If I don't keep moving, I'm as good as dead. You're saying there's a way... Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. Okay, someone who actually witnessed it. What if I do this, so... Objection! Yes! A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility. What? Ha! You're saying it's possible. Don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. Preposterous! Who is it? Who's this witness? I can't check it out here. I've got to keep on the attack and go, go, go! Mr. Lake's Deoxinum, brilliant, highly gifted apprentice, Wright's Deoxinum. Brilliant? Highly gifted apprentice? Remember what he said in his testimony. That night he was at the Mountain Shack Heavenly Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. I think you've all seen this sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night. Are you serious? Today's not April Fool's Day, is it? Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming that the victim flew through the air? And you're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument? Uh-oh. The judge looks like he's about to blow gasket. In a way that supports the argument? Ha! Well, try it. There's nowhere left for you to hide now. Other than looking at what was drawn by a 6-year-old, does this sketch prove anything? Yes, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm going to prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. What if I literally do turn this whole thing upside down? If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, why not start with the sketch? Upside down. Why did Godot say that? Alright, then let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show? I don't think old Whisker Face is going to forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix. Look carefully and think it over. This drawing by Wright is a complete contradiction. Exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. Of course the victim was flying through the air. You can see it right in the sketch. Whoosh! Ah! Alright. Okay, okay, so... I don't think that worked. Okay. Say it's a contradiction. Okay. It's drawn by is a complete contradiction. Can't say evidence of nothing, because that's in itself its own discussion. A complete contradiction. Something is obviously funny about the sketch. I'm nowhere critic, but I can see that. No, that's not what I meant, Your Honor. Wright asked him say over and over that the sketch is exactly as he saw it. However, if we're to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it. It contradicts reality? Ha! It's getting interesting. You're back to that finger-pointing thing again. Okay, try it. So what exactly contradicts reality as we know it? This flying figure, naturally. After all, people haven't learned to fly, or did I miss something? It was lethal. Oops! I frigged. So bad. Okay! Mr. Wright, after dragging us to the way past this point, that answer was embarrassing. It was so embarrassing I'm actually blushing. Blushing only suits women, not only rethink things. Point to something else. Your Honor, please give me one more chance. I'm in a tight spot now, and I really need to turn this case upside down. It's time for me to flip things around and get them straight where I need in the head. Okay! It's not the flying figure. What else is it? How does it contradict reality? First, let's look at reality. One of the wires is dangling. The suspension wires. You know exactly what you're saying? Say it over and over, the sketch was exactly as you saw it. However, for to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality. Contradicts reality? It's gotta be the wires. Looks like you're back to finger pointing again. Okay, try it. So what exactly contradicts reality? The suspension wire! Take that! This wire this wire connected to the bridge. The wire? Ha! Is that the thing that contradicts reality? Yes, because it is indeed. Then show us reality supposed to conflict. Show us something that will point out how the sketch contradicts reality. The Dusky Bridge photo. Here! That's a photo of Dusky Bridge, correct? Yes. Now compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the actual Dusky Bridge. Jumping Jehoshaphat! The wires are below the guard wires. What? Order! The sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong? Or perhaps he just drew it wrong? Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong. Nope. Not this time. With someone like Larice, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility, but then that begs the question. Why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? What are you saying, you know the answer to it? Listen, think back, alright? Remember what Larice was doing when he witnessed this event. He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for his lover, never gonna come. He was waiting, finally laid down. But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. I ponder what sort of position Larice might have been at the time. He was lying on his back, which why I remembered the scene as the way he did. He was lying on his back? I can't see how it relates. But it does, Your Honor. That is the reason why the wires on the sketch go up instead of down. Ah! No way. Larice Jackson witnessed the event while he was lying on his back, face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down. Literally, we turned it upside down. So then, the sketch should actually... I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Larice Jackson's sketch is this. This is how it should actually look. The body was under the bridge. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge. It was actually swinging below. That's right. Just like a pendulum! Ridiculous! Now we're getting somewhere. Order! Of all the things to say, a pendulum? The bridge was burning to a crisp. There's no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would cause problems. This is where the criminal decided to take the gamble. He used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side. And the pendulum was the only way to get it done. Let's get about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means that it's about far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yes, that sounds right. In order to cover that distance with the pendulum, you need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you have to plan ahead. Nope. You wouldn't. Lightning strike that night can only have been an accident. So it doesn't make sense the couple would have prepared a rope beforehand. So then, something was also prepared. They didn't need to get a rope ready. The rope was already right in front of them. What? I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there. In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation. What makes you think the criminal had a rope on him to create a pendulum? It was this bridge! If I screw up, I'm fricked. Here! And the meaning of this is, if you want to know where the rope come from, it's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard. Ah! This is one of the wires for the bridge. And then the lightning struck the bridge and it set on fire. One of the suspension wires came loose from the anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around the accident's body. Because there was simply no other way to move the body. Ha! I thought you had an argument, but no. Mr. Godot? Seems that Mr. Godot is more focused on his coffee than answering my question. You seriously need to take a piss break after all this. And speaking of taking a piss break, be right back. Okay, well, the second after getting by main progress. Okay. Maybe to answer your question. Seems the odds of the rope being readily available are very high, so I suppose it's not an impossibility after all. Possible or impossible, that's not the question we need to ask. Yes, distract from the truth! Like the impeachment trial that's going on right now. There's only one thing did that really happen. Try it, I wonder if you can prove what happened to us. Do you have any actual evidence the body was swung over like a pendulum? Yes! This! Uh-oh. Before I present, let me review what we know so far. According to the photo, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we can see that there's that one that was in front of the inner temple. So then, that is the spot where the criminal? Yes, precisely. Now let's consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map again. If the body was pushed from this point here, it would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point. Did you say drop? Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank. What? What makes you think something like that happened? Because I have evidence that suggests her body was dropped some distance. And something tells me I should save it right here. What kind of evidence? Take a look at this autopsy report. It says here that the body fell about 10 feet after her death. 10 feet, huh? That's most likely the height difference between the two sides. The body overswung due to forward momentum, but it came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose. That's... Yes, the bloodstained amethyst crystal. It's the one that came off of Mr. Lake's DX staff. And even more important is the place where the crystal sphere was found. Indeed. I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. The crystal is found... Ah! Precisely, Your Honor. In the same place where the body was dropped. In this very spot, where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed. This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You provided us with the way the body could have moved that night. Who slapped who? An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive. Oh! Mr. Wright? He got coffee face. I thought this cold coffee might help you cool down. What was the meaning of this, Mr. Godot? Throwing coffee everywhere. Like a frickin' coffee mug. This isn't actually coffee, it's just toilet paper. That was dark and bitter, I guess you may, right? But you forgot one thing. And what would that be? What time is it? 10:30. Can I finish this game before that? What would that be? The aroma. Huh? A coffee's most reliable accomplice is deep and profound aroma. The rest of the court doesn't speak Coffinese. Can you elaborate a bit more? Are we making fun of the Chinese? Cantonese? If the criminal had sent the body to the other side, like as you say, then naturally there must be some accomplice lying in wait to catch it. An accomplice? The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusky Bridge. So who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, Trite? Mr. Godot is correct. This can't be the work of a single person. Okay. This is why I need to save it several hundred times. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do. Yes, Your Honor. The body couldn't have made it to Hazuko's Temple without an accomplice. Very well, then, if you please, Mr. Wright. Okay. Yeah. Uh-oh. Who's the person that received the body on Hazuko's Temple? Okay! Nope. 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 Oh, nope. Maybe... Iris, a nun from Hazuko's Temple. It could only be Iris. Screw up one more time and that's it. So, where are you at in the trial? Right near the end of the second trial. I'm gonna say Iris. So here! And if I frig up this time, that's it. It can only be you, Sister Iris. Huh? Ah! But I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her bad luck, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. You're the only one who could have managed it. Right? Were you listening to witness testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was on cleanup duty in the inner temple garden after the mother-daughter bloodbath. I haven't forgotten, but have you, Mr. Godot? This witness was also seen at Hazuko's Temple. Desecrating the corpse of the victim. Strange indeed. It's almost as if on the night of the defendant was in two different places at the same time. Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you gave your testimony? Mention what? The pendulum, of course. Using the sketch drawn by the eyewitness, I have established how the body was moved using the burnt-out bridge. Which means it's now a fact that this occurred, something you should have already known. No! I had no idea. I didn't know anything about a pendulum. But the body couldn't have passed along to the other side without your help. You already confessed that you were an accomplice in the murder, so you are the accomplice, as you have already stated. So you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing. Unless you're not really Iris to begin with. What? How can you say that? Mr. Wright? What? What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying that that this witness isn't Iris of Hazakura Temple? Are you serious? Trite? You mean, this woman is... There's no one besides Iris that could have received the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach this whole trial. Because there were two. And the other person was... Why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. Because she's Dahlia Hawthorne. The whole woman is standing there at the witness stand. Her real name is... Dahlia Hawthorne. Here! I never thought I'd have to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. Hawthorne? Sister Iris had a twin sister. And you're looking at her, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. That name rings some bells, distant bells, but bells nonetheless. Ha! It's just your imagination, Gramps. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh yes, I remember now, that case 5 years ago. My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just wanted to say it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor is all mine! No, the honor is all mine! But, according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. It says her execution was carried out last month. But she's being channeled. So what? Death has no meaning in this courtroom. What? Then what carries meaning? The truth. Order, order, order! Wait a moment. How can you? My sister, she's already dead. What kind of... You of all people should already understand after all. The blood of the master of the Korean channeling technique flows within that body. Korean channeling technique? Now where have I heard that? That's right, you're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia, currently inhabiting the body of the spirit medium. Then who's the spirit medium? What did I expect? Exciting story, exciting, but quite impossible. Give me a second, I need to do stuff. I need to do more stuff. But quite impossible. You're asking us to buy Dahlia Hawthorne has just happened to be channeled by someone. On the very night of the murders, to a temple where her twin sister Iris was. Well, if you're gonna put things that way, then yes. We're supposed to believe a coincidence like this just happened. Yes! Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was just part of the plan from the very beginning. It was all written here in the instructions. Ah! Well, what's that? These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. And part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. That night, there were 2 irises at Hazukuna's temple. 2 of them. Even the time of the channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, in other words, 10 p.m., however, Iris was seen before dinner time. That means the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris. And the Iris who gave me this hood at the main hall was also the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple was someone else dressed as her, namely one Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you even think of what you're saying, Trey? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business? Yes, it's true that you found plans that talk about it. However, there's one thing further clear. The witness currently standing here witnesses the real Iris. What? How do you know? Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After meeting Sister Bikini and Dahlia Hawthorne that had been channeled, would have been stranded at the inner temple due to the lightning strike. Okay. So what is it? It was later that the body was moved by the pendulum. That's right. Naturally, that would mean that the Iris that received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far? Yes. After being notified of what happened, the police came to the Hazakura Temple main hall. There they found Iris in her room and arrested her. And ever since, she'd been under police supervision at the detention center. Yes, I suppose I can't deny any of that. Phew! Thank goodness. It looks like he's finally convinced. But something else still seems way off. I'm not convinced that the Iris is the same one from the other night. Ha! I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous. Like the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia. Somehow switch places. Switch places? To be perfectly honest, there are still some things I don't understand. But I do know that unless we confirm the witness's identity, we can't continue with the trial. Iris doesn't have spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia. Which means... who is channeling her? They must have switched places somewhere. Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she was arrested at Hazakura Temple... has there chances to switch places? Any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne? If you need help, ask. Okay. Yes or no? Was it possible to switch? No. Because she was channeled. What if I say no? Not a chance. I can't think of one. She certainly couldn't have escaped while she was under arrest. I love the look on your face. Maybe you should go and live in that old mountain shack and become a hermit. It appears there's no opportunity for them to switch places. No, if I get here, I'll be able to live with myself. Even if it's a little forced, I have to think of something. Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance. Oh, explain yourself. Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris's whereabouts were unknown. Oh, unknown. What do you mean? What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move about freely unsupervised. That earthquake. Well, who was it? Who would have given a murder suspect time to move freely about like that? It was Edgeworth. Sorry, I know I didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault. The person who gave Iris the chance to move freely about was... Edgeworth. Here you go! This Mr. Edgeworth, is it? Your Honor? There was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not? An earthquake? Earthquake! Oh my goodness! Near a temple! This kind of termite might cave in. How could I have? She fled. She escaped. We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true, irises were already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne. That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now see here, no judge in the right mind. Be quiet! Ooh. It's been a long time, Mr. Judge. That voice. Guess I'll have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, I always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules. So it is Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne. My current profession? Permanently retired. Because you're dead! Ha! So you're not gonna bother hiding your identity anymore, huh? Why should I? After all, I'm dead. There's really nothing you can do to punish me. What is going on here? Dahlia Hawthorne. I never thought we'd meet again, and I never thought we'd meet like this. After death. But this time I'll end it, for her, and for myself. Are you gonna commit seppuku? No, don't commit seppuku. To be continued! Should I continue it? Should I? Should I? Yes, I am. I'm gonna see how far I'm gonna get. Do it! February 10th, 1:06 p.m. Discord. What the second part of the court. Now then, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Well, witness? Yes. How can I help you, Mr. Judge? Seems as we're learning the truth. We'll need to hear your testimony. I have no problem with that. But when you see what I have, sometimes the truth is better left unknown. In any case, let's hear your testimony. Tell us about the plan that was carried out that night. The plan. The whole plan began with my death. A stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to instill her own daughter as the next master. But for it to work, Maya would first have to die. The idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pinned on ours. The plan went wrong, but it seemed to have succeeded anyways. Wait, what? So that means you really are... What? Wait a minute. Did you just say the plan was to kill Maya Fey? Yes. You have a problem with that? Don't just give us that analysis. There's no way that... Watch yourself, trait. If you've got a problem, solve it during the cross-examination. That's one of my rules. Mr. Godot is correct. And by the way, that's one of my rules as well. To kill Maya. Could it be true? The plan. The whole plan began with my death. Okay. Hold it! You were executed last month, correct? Yes, I was hanged. It wasn't exactly pleasant. How did you manage to discuss the plan? When did you talk with Morgan Fay? Last year. She was transferred to the same detention center as me. Oh, you were prison buddies! Like Orange is the New Black, except it's the Japanese version of it. Since I was on death row, and she was my mother, it was pretty easy to meet with her. I see. So that's when you discussed it. At first, that woman was planning to kill me as well, even though I'm her own daughter. She thought she could finally regain her lost honor. The honor was she lost when her younger sister Mystique took her place as the master. Ever since that day, she's been working on this plan. A plan? Huh. A stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to instill her own daughter as the next master. Hold it! You're talking about Pearl Fay, is that correct? Yes. Though at first she had high hopes for the two of us. First, you and your twin sister Iris? That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us had much spiritual power. That's why we were abandoned by her, along with our father. Abandoned? The only person I really cared about in life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, so I convinced my father to leave her at the old temple. You mean Iris? Yes, my father married a woman who also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? And on top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in the children in general. How horrible. Real reason, yep! The woman, that bitter, vengeful woman. It was her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, Pearl Fay. She was born with an abundance of spiritual power. Unfortunately for her, Morgan Fay heaped all of her broken hopes and dreams onto that poor child's back. All because of her pathetic dreams of having her bloodline become the main family. But for her to work, Maya Fay would first have to die. Hold it! Maya would have to die, but why? For her bloodline to succeed as the main family, thus making Pearl the new master. The remaining descendants of the current master had to be taken care of. But Pearls would never agree to a plan like that. She adores Maya. How sad. You still don't get it, do you? What Pearl wanted had nothing to do with it. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. The only thing she cared about was the position of the master, that's all. That's ridiculous. She was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. Ooh, the hard-line mentality. The life of her daughter, and naturally the life of Maya Fey as well. How could anyone do that? The idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pinned on ours. Hold it! You were going to kill Maya! Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was follow the instructions in the letter and channel me. Then she would simply use her body and finish up the job. And in any case, I'm already dead, and there's no way you can do it to me. Grr. So the plan was to blame the crime on your younger twin. On Sister Iris of Hazakura's temple. She and I look absolutely identical. No one can tell us apart. If someone were to witness me killing Maya, naturally they'd think it was Iris who had done it. And the witness in this case was the head nun, Sister. I never would have guessed she was going to return to the Hazakura that night. But she wound up seeing Iris's crybaby. But why did you want to pin the murder on Iris in the first place? She's your twin sister, isn't she? Twin sister? Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I couldn't care less about her. Backstabber? You just don't understand. You never will. Anyway, you're the backstabber. You stab people's backs. The plan went wrong, but it seemed to have succeeded anyways. Hold it! How so? You think the plan was success? You heard me. Just as that woman has hoped. My Faye is dead. Uh-huh. But if that's the case, then who is channeling you? Now the title of the Master will be passed on to Pearl Faye. That's absurd. Maya is just... She's just trapped inside the sacred cavern. Really? You're foolishly optimistic as ever, aren't you, my dearling Feeny? Do you want to know the truth? Ever since we met you, I've despised you. Your sniveling naivety and your pathetic faith in other people. I just want to know one thing. What do you personally think of Morgan Faye's plan? I told you already, didn't I? It was a stupid plan. It had no point, no value other than fulfilling your own greedy desires. Yes, it was certainly nothing to be proud of. If that's how you feel, why did you help her carry it out? Why would you do it? Why would you kill Maya? You may not understand it, being the kind, gentle soul that you are. You may not be able to appreciate why someone like me would help a woman like that. So then tell me, why? Isn't it obvious? I'm not like that woman. I only act in my own self-interest. The real reason I helped her was for myself. For my own personal satisfaction. What did you just say? So this woman, Dahlia Hawthorne. She had a reason why I did. Okay! Do you understand why I would kill Maya Fey now? What my goal was? Hold it! Obviously, it's because you were helping Morgan Fey. Helping? Don't make me laugh. From the day I was born to the day I died, I never helped anyone. I lived for myself, and in the end, I died for myself. I thought it was obvious. So she wasn't actually cooperating with Morgan. She was using Morgan and her plans so she could accomplish her own goal. All I wanted to do was kill Maya Fey. That was the only way I could think of to get revenge. For what? Revenge. It looks like I have no choice but to present that piece of evidence. I can't believe it. She meant to kill Maya. I've got to keep a cool head. And I need to get more information out of her. The only way to understand this plan is what she was after all. Okay. Do you understand why I would have killed Maya Fey now? What my goal was? Okay, what was her reason? Why? Well, okay, let's turn this around. She had a reason because she wanted revenge. Against who? Against who? Okay, if she wanted... Let's think about this one more time. If she wanted revenge against somebody, that person must have really pissed her off. But who? Who pissed off Dahlia Hawthorne? Was it Phoenix? No, she despised her. But Dahlia Hawthorne would not get revenge over Phoenix. Who pissed off Dahlia Hawthorne? Oh wait, I think I know who it was. Here! It was Mia. Because right at the end of the first trial, Dahlia Hawthorne was so freaking pissed off with Mia because of finding out the truth behind everything. And I actually got it! Could it be that your actual goal had nothing to do with Maya Fey herself, but her sister? As I said, none of you have the power to punish me anymore, because I'm already dead. Well, I had the same problem, you see. You can't punish the dead, and you can't take revenge against them either. You wanted to take revenge on someone. When I was sentenced to die because of that woman, Mia Fey. I somehow knew this was it. I wanted to send her a message. It was at her hands that I suffered my first humiliation. I wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, when I realized revenge was impossible, I gave up. And the reason it was impossible was perhaps because Mia Fey had already died. Yes, and I realized there's only one way to take revenge against the dead. And how do you do that? Even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever. I wanted to take away the person that Mia Fey loved most. I wanted to kill her with my own 2 hands. It would be the one and only way I could take my revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason I helped out with the woman's plans. Because it had something to do with Mia. Just for that you would kill Maya. Your goal is no different than Morgan Fey. As they say, the apple doesn't far fall from the tree. Because Newton had a different way of saying it. What a cruel plan! Cruel, cold, and heartless. Humph! Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you, there's not a thing you can do to me. Grr! That night. At about 9:30 p.m., I materialized into this world. I quickly pinned my hair up and put on the demon warding hood. And I picked up the staff. Then I picked up the staff that was by my side and left Hazakura Temple. So, it was at least DX that who channeled her after all. That ridiculously head nun never noticed a thing. She left Maya Fey at the inner temple and wobbled back, clutching her old floor back. What are you gonna do then? That kid was easier to handle than I had hoped. I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger and I got from the storeroom in. What happened? So then you're saying you stabbed Maya? It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. What does that mean? No clear memory? I don't know. I think I was stabbed. From behind? You were stabbed. At the last minute, my Fey must have stabbed me, I'm sure of it. That's not like her at all. Maya wouldn't stab a French fry with a plastic fork. Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness. Before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. I had hoped it would cast suspicion on her. I can't believe that she was thinking about it until the bitter end. That's where my memory temporarily stops. It stops? I don't have a memory of actually killing Maya Fey with my own 2 hands. My very last memory was Maya Fey in front of you. Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern surrounded by darkness. You were in the sacred cavern? The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks. Somehow I've been trapped in there. But how do you wind up in there? I'd like to know that myself. Why is that another mystery on top of a murder? I didn't know whether or not Maya Fey was dead. And I swore I wouldn't return to the underworld until I knew I had killed her myself. For a ghost, you're one tough cookie. I wanted to get out of there and make sure she was dead. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out. The trick lock stopped you, huh? I didn't know how to remove it. So then you're saying you're actually confined against your own will inside the sacred cavern? Yes, I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible. But it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it. Interrupted. It was early in the morning, but someone came into the training hall. What? Who? Could have been Maya. I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see. Why not? If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge. So I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the secret cavern. That morning, only 2 people could have gone into the training hall. Maya and Pearls. Okay. Who could have been? Pearls went in there to cover the hanging skull and gravy. Still, I finally managed to remove the lock. But I was too late. What do you mean by that? The flies had already started to gather. The bridge has been fixed and the police started their investigation, correct? Naturally, I couldn't go out. So instead, I returned to the cavern and put the lock back on myself. I realized I couldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse, so I had hoped. But just then, Lady Luck showed up. Lady Luck? After that big earthquake, she showed up all by herself. Iris? The real Iris. She said she'd come to make sure the secret cavern was alright, stupid girl. They came out from the secret cavern and got a feel for the situation. And I locked her away. So, Iris came looking for Maya, but that's where the switch happened. I had finally learned exactly what happened. It was then that I learned that the plan had actually succeeded. How? And where did you get all those trick locks? What do you mean your plan has succeeded? I had misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the only one who had summoned me, I had assumed that it was Pearl Fay. Well, of course you wouldn't assume it was written in the instructions. But I was wrong. The person that actually called my spirit back was Misty Fay, the picture book author. What? Well, that's really the only possibility, isn't it? After I lost consciousness in the garden, it was her body that was left lying there. Maya Fay. I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands after all. But even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit. And what that is? Matricide. The sin of killing her own mother. Ugh! No way! Word order in the court. What is the meaning of this? It is true that I was the one who attacked Maya Fay. But even so, the murderer who actually snuffed out Misty Fay's life was none other than your darling little Maya. No! Because you said your last memory was her terror-filled eyes. That's nonsense. Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There's not even evidence supporting these facts, was there? What? What do you mean? What is this so-called evidence? The fact that Maya Fay has disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it? Huh? The idea that she's still in the secret cavern is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple, that much is obvious. In that case, there's only one place she could be. Where? Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of the Eagle River. Where else? Eagle River? No, because you were surprised when that was mentioned before, and now you're actually using it. Maya Fay killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's why she threw herself into the Eagle River. Most bodies that wind up in the river are lost forever. I don't think that's what happened. So, what do you have to say to that, Feeny? Oh. Why is that Godot's phone going off? Because that's the same thing. Oops! Sorry, that's my phone. What kind of ringtone is that? Godot here? Okay, thanks. Was it something important? They just finished removing the locks on the sacred cavern. That's great! What about Maya? There was a woman in the cave. Was it Maya Fay? It was the accused, Sister Iris. Huh? Huh? Don't look so surprised. I locked her in there just yesterday. I just finished telling you that. So, what about Maya? Where is she? She's here! Channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. There's no one else found inside the secret cavern. No, it can't be. I told you, didn't I? She's dead. No! No! But who is channeling her? It's gotta be Maya. It seems that the case is coming to an end. A tragic end. Sadly, it appears the killer of Lacey XM, also known as Misty Fay, was her own daughter, Maya Fay. Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Maya Fay jumped into the death of the raging rivers of the Eagle River. It can't be. Ha! Alright, who's laughing? Who's laughing? Was it you, Godot? That's right. Have you heard this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. No No matter how improbable it may seem. What? What is that supposed to mean, Prosecutor Godot? According to this witness, Maya Fey threw herself into the Eagle River. However, is that really the truth? No. Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden. Which means if Maya had thrown herself in the river, it must have been from the inner temple side near the bridge. Which means she couldn't have. Because there was a rocky outcrop near the bottom. That's what it was. That's right. That's where she jumped from. Nope. You couldn't have done it. But that's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there. What? Don't get your panties all twisted up, Wright. Just relax. So it's impossible. Maya couldn't have thrown herself into the Eagle River. Because of the temple map. It claims Miss Faye threw herself in the river from the inner temple side. Do you have any evidence that refutes this claim? Yes. This! It's impossible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple side. No one knows this better than this witness. What do you say? 11 years ago, you jumped in the very same river. And just take a look at the overhead map. As you can see, below the cliff on the inner temple side is a big rock shelf. Oh! Oh! You're right! She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped from there. In other words, if she had jumped, she would be able to see her body in this photo. Ah! Ha! So you finally figured it out. You... No! Order! Order! No, you're just playing with me. My Faye's body is at the bottom of the Eagle River. There's nowhere else could possibly be hiding. Who says she's hiding? And if she is hiding, where would it be? In plain sight? Miss Hawthorne, have you ever heard of this one before? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Yes, just a few minutes ago. Maya Fey wasn't inside the sacred cavern. We know that she didn't throw herself in the Eagle River. Correct. That eliminates all the most likely possibilities. Now, although it seems improbable, there's one other place she could be. What? What is this one possibility you're talking about? That's obviously a bluff. So where is her dead body then? Finally, I think the pieces are falling into place. Normally, the living have no way to punish the dead. But I think there is a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the ultimate punishment. By making her realize that she inhabited the body that she was supposed to kill. Shall I tell you, Miss Hawthorne? Shall I tell you where my first is? In this very courtroom! There's only one possibility left. Namely, she's right here in this very courtroom. What? My Faye is here? You say she's here in my courtroom? Dahlia Hawthorne, I seem to recall that you said I had misunderstood one thing, you see. So what? But I think there's one more thing you misunderstood. What do you mean? Tell me something. At this very moment, who is channeling Dahlia Hawthorne? Why, that is obvious. It's Pearl Fey. That pathetic little sniveling runt. Nope. So you're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it. I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. Isn't there any explanation why you couldn't channel a spirit? It could happen if someone else is already channeling the same spirit. Someone called me before Polo led, but who? Girls even tried again on the day after the crime. But she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clear to you right about now, am I correct? Someone else did it. Ah! And that someone else is Maya! It wasn't Pearls that channeled you. There was someone who called you before she could. It is... Maya! This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Missy Faye is gone. There's only one possibility left. Come on already, I can't stand this tension. Dahlia Hawthorne, the person channeling you right now must be Maya Fey! What?! But how could that be? Remember what this witness Dahlia Hawthorne said about her goal. She said that her goal was to kill Maya Fey. Yes, that's right, but if Maya channeling the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her... Ha, well, Gramps, what will happen? Could it be? It looks like you finally understand, Yarn. Well, I don't... What are you going on about? What am I going on about? The reason why Maya channeled you? And there's only one reason. To protect herself from you. To protect herself from me? Yes! On the night of the crime, you were only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Fey. The path back to Hazakura was closed off and there was no one else for her to run. So then the problem became... Where would be the safest place to hide? Ah! Ah! You mean, that's when she channeled me. All this time you thought you'd been channeled by pearls. That's why it never occurred to you that Maya's hiding place was you! No, don't say that! You're saying, hi, Dahlia Hawthorne. Look at that confused look on her face. Was played for a fool by that little whelp. Maya Fey killed herself. Isn't it obvious? No. Sorry, but no, it would have been impossible for her to jump in the evil river. This is the only avenue of escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple? I don't believe you. A stupid little girl like that was never been out in the real world. She could never come up with a plan like that. Who could have ever given her such a brilliant idea? Well, she has recorded video in a previous case. Who could have ever given her such a brilliant idea? Well, me, of course. What the? Mia! Mia Fey. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. So it's true. It was you. Yes. Ha! You're something else. What are you doing here? That hair. It's pearls, right? Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You just cornered my inner temple garden. And then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness. Why? According to the autopsy report, I was stabbed by Maya Fey. Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you. She did? Not terribly surprising since she was about to be killed. When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help, so she channeled me. She explained in the memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do. Channel the very evil that was trying to kill her. She did that. I can't believe it. Of course, I didn't have all the details. But one thing was perfectly clear. And that was, I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free. Free? What do you mean? It was a race against time, so I wrote down 2 things that I had to do. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the secret cavern until help arrived. So it was Maya who put that lock there. Yes, but why did you order her to do those 2 things? If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Fey. Pearls? Yes, Pearl didn't properly understand the plan. So all she had to do was try to follow Mother Morgan Fey's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly. So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have been used by the body of Pearl Fey. To kill Maya at all costs! Certainly sounds like it was the intent all along. How dare you? I won't forget this! Why not just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure. Yes. Another failure to add to the pile of shame when you say... What do you mean by another? Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure. What? How dare you? 11 years ago? You tried to kill your stepsister. The fake kidnapping, your very first crime. Theft. of a $2 million jewel, and then framing a prisoner. There your hands. But after Terry Falls escaped and went to meet with Valerie Hawthorne, the truth was exposed. Shut your mouth, that wasn't my fault. It was because of that stupid oaf of a prisoner and that weakling of a policewoman. And then, 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but you killed somebody else. You wound up killing someone else. As a result, you were sentenced to death. It's one stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny. You, wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face. And now this, you've messed up again. You let Maya Fey escape, and even though she was right there in front of you. The hell? Mia Fey! Mia Fey! Mia Fey! You spinster! I was supposed to kill Mia Fey like I swore I would. And if only you gotten that spiky-haired jerk up, the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death. True. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me. What do you say? Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you'll never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all of eternity. Grr! 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 Remember what you said early in the trial. You said that there was no way we could punish you, because you were already dead. What about it? I think you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on, forever. That's very true, Dahlia. And it's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. For all eternity, you'll remain as Dahlia Hawthorne, a miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. And for you, there's no escape from that, no hope of freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has burnt to a crisp. Oh! You're wrong! It can't be! Now I'm getting dehydrated. How could I lose to the likes of you? It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. Let's see if I can turn this up. I'm not ready to go. Begone! There we go. Nick. Sis. Ugh. Why is it that traversing the dimensions or the spirit realms has this weird vibration? What is that vibration, by the way? Seriously. Ugh. It vibrates you to another plane of existence. How the hell do you even get to that point? I assume you're the real Iris. Yes, I was just rescued from the sacred cavern. I must say that your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. No, there's... Mr. Godot, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne? If you ask me, Your Honor, it looks like she went back to the hell she came from. Seems that Misty Fey wasn't the only victim in this crime. Maya Fey, as well as young Pearl Fey, were almost victims of the wicked and selfish clan. Yes, Your Honor. The tragedy of the Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again. I agree. Your Honor? Yes, what is it? About the whole spirit medium thing. It's almost weird how comfortable you seem with the concept now. Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticized me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study upon the Korean channeling technique. So even the judge knows about it. No prejudice there. Hey, isn't that the New Year's issue of Occult? I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench. And in all the time, I finally learned this one thing. Each case is different and takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ. I never thought of it that way. At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Objection!
What? Oh, we're not done. We are not done. What time is it? Oh god, it's 11:30. You're a little too fast with that gavel, you are. What do you mean by that, Mr. Godot? This trial, it isn't over yet, that's what he means. What? Right. Remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony? Huh? Dahlia's testimony? I caught up with her in the front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger and I got it. Sorry, man. It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed. By who? Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone. Yes, that's right. The person that was ultimately killed was a spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. At least Yexodum. No, Missy Faye. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it. This isn't over! No, it isn't. Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. Oh, can't let her walk out into evidence that proves her innocence. No way! But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony. The prosecution is ready to call our final witness. Final witness? So this one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Missy Faye. Indeed. Is it really alright, Mr. Prosecutor? Of course it's alright, Madame Attorney. Very well then, who's this final witness? Ha! Isn't it obvious? There's one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in its case. Someone who saw the murder take place. The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her very own eyes. You mean Maya? You can't. She can't testify after what she's been through. We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya Faye to the witness stand. Oh, alright, let's see if I can finish it all off. Can I finish it? We'll need to take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Faye to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial. Hey, Trite, I've got something to say to you. Listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow manage to just squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in the last minute to save you. You've got some nerve. It's like a reverse damsel in distress. More like dude in distress. But that's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to have to do this by yourself. That's enough. This court is now in recess. Oh, it hurts. It hurts so much. February 10th, 2:56 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. I'm actually sorry about everything. You were working hard to defend me, but I was missing all day, and we didn't even have a chance to talk. She's right. When I met Rice at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places, and Iris remained inside the secret cavern. I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on. Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. There's something even more important than that, though I have to ask you. Why did you help your sister out as much as you did, huh? If you had tried to get help at the secret cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there. My sister. She was abandoned by her mother and never got any love from her father either. Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it? Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hazakura Temple. She wouldn't have. I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about the fighting. That's why I promised that I would help her. I gotta stop it. You're talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago? Yes. I wanted to be useful in some way. But as usual, I was too cowardly at the last minute. I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister Valerie ended up. That was a case that wounded Mia so badly. But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder. Some people, you must mean. Yes, 2 defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth. I even tried to kill the person who unknowingly hid the poison for her. You! That's right. Iris, there's one more thing I'd have to ask you. Yes, what is it? On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, at least the accident, was it really you? Yes, it was me. That night after I rang the lights-out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone. Beep. There's a problem. Cut in the inner temple right away. I got on the snowmobile and headed over for the inner temple, but it was already a path to the inner temple was cut off, right? Exactly. Beep. We can just leave the body here. We can't. So you gotta do exactly what I say. Got it? It was me. I was the only one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in the body, so I wouldn't bleed as much. The staff that Mr. Gleason always held. I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was a staff. Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile. But why? Why did you alter the body? I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Missy Faye. I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the shishitsu. I whipped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground. Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone the real killer. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it. I see. The actual weapon was used to murder the victim. Defendant! Yes, the judge is calling you. He wants to see you in his chambers. Alright, can I finish this game off? Why the hell do I keep hearing weird noises? Weird buzzing. Alright, well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you. Oh, something she wants to tell me. What? So it's true. I was cooperating with the real killer, maybe from the very beginning. Phoenix! Mia, how's Maya doing? Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case. I see. You don't mean she's learned who at least Diaxonum really was? Yes. I went to the medical office and talked with her. I told her everything I knew. But why? Maya's stronger than you think. I knew she could take it. All of it. What do you mean by that? I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. And don't get any sexual thoughts. The trial is about to restart. The real killer. Do you know who it is yet? Iris wouldn't tell me who called her. But still. I think that just maybe I know who it was. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the inner temple. And the criminal wasn't just there by accident. Which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. And one more thing. The victim was moved to the Hazakura Temple side by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross a bridge. That means that they were stuck in the inner temple side for almost an entire day. Exactly! So the culprit was someone that wasn't in Hazakura Temple the following day. That's as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win. Or lose. Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Mia. Don't forget. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see anyways? And who is it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me. All by myself. Should I stop it here and I'll continue it tomorrow? What time is it? I got school in the morning. It's 11:33 p.m. I gotta get up at 7. So I actually have to stop here. And I'll finish it off tomorrow. Or at least try to. I swear on it. Alright? Bye-bye!